Good morning, I'm Jeff. I'm a sewer tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 1751 Poplar Place here in Forest Grove. We're located just outside the kitchen. We're going to try and go through the 2-inch ABS cleanout here. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running. And once we hit the main line here, we'll zero out the camera counter. This first little bit, though, is just going to be the kitchen sink drain. Now it looks like due to the configuration here as it ties onto the main line, not sure we'll get past this turn here. We're going to reel out and then I think we're going to move over to the roof vent. Alright, we're now up on the rooftop here. It's like a 4-inch cast iron vent, and right at the base of this is right where the camera stopped up when we were trying to go through the kitchen sink drain. And we'll zero out the camera counter right at the base of the vent once we get the camera lens cleaned off. We're going to keep the camera moving kind of quick here. If we've got a long run out into the cul-de-sac, it will reel back slower though. Just transition there over to concrete pipe. It appears to be transite concrete. Looks like we got some roots coming through there at about 21 feet out. Oh, it's a short line too. Right here at 39 feet we have reached the terminus. I'm going to shut the water off, let the line drain out completely so we can have a good look at everything on the way back. I'm also going to go locate just to verify where the line terminates. I located the camera head successfully. The main lateral, at least where this line terminates, is actually running right underneath the driveway skirt. So it doesn't even go all the way into the road, which is ideal. Generally, the shorter the line, the better. Alright, here at 20 feet, this is where the root intrusion's coming through. At this point, the roots are small, they're not affecting the flow, but I always recommend they be corrected because they generally will at some point when they grow larger. Alright, we are 3 feet deep here, right underneath, about smack dab in the middle of the driveway underneath there. Not very deep, but when you have to start correcting concrete, it gets a little bit more expensive. I do recommend a repair there to correct that. And so at the very least, do a spot repair. My concern when we've got active root intrusions and a lot of good, especially one very large tree over here to the left of the property, my guess is that's the root system that's getting it. As this concrete ages more and more, those every single joint in here is going to become that much weaker, and likely in time you will probably get roots in other spots. We've got a little bit of cracking here around the joint, but you can still see there's a rubber gasket behind that. The line is showing some age. For the most part, though, it's looking quite good. But at the least there, I do recommend a spot repair to correct the root intrusion. What I would look into is doing a pipe liner repair so you don't have to dig up the driveway. I've noticed there are quite a few cracks in the driveway, so if you're planning to redo the driveway, obviously you can just dig the line up. But if the driveway is going to be that way for a long time, I would recommend doing a trenchless repair where you can do a liner. It doesn't require any digging generally. And I would look into the cost difference between lining that spot right there and just lining the whole concrete section. It's not a very long line at all. There's only about maybe 20 feet of concrete in total to deal with there. Generally, once you start going distance with liners, it gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Where, you know, for instance, you can't quote me on this, but let's say if a spot repair is $1,500, a lot of times you can get a 30-foot section line for maybe $500 to $1,000 more. It's much cheaper once you start doing a long distance. So because it's an older aging line, I would definitely look into that. But the spot repair will deal with it. And you can see my white paint marking down there on the driveway. That is where the root intrusion is at. The whole line, basically, except for the first maybe 10 feet, is under the concrete. Aside from that, the rest of the pipe there is, I'll call it in fair to good condition. There's spots where it's showing some wear, but it's still doing its job. It's flowing nicely all the way to the main lateral and is functioning properly at this time. Once those roots get larger, though, then they can become a problem and start blocking the lineup. That's why I never recommend doing drain cleaning on them, because they come back with a vengeance even faster.